Hello dears, and welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Ana, where we share with you a lot of interesting and useful information from Spain in general and Benidorm as it is our lovely town in Costa Blanca, Spain. Today, as every Monday and Friday, it's time for the latest news update, and we have quite interesting and important information for all of you guys, so make sure you stay tuned. First of all, we'll be talking about the situation in Benidorm and really important changes, because Benidorm is trying its best to become the first ever destination which is 100% accessible from the whole entire Spain. And this news is just amazing. I'll give you slightly more details when we'll go with it. The second news will be about the famous train that connects Alicante and Denia, because we have some nice discounts going on. And how cheap will it be to travel from Alicante, Benidorm to Denia during the next couple of months? And the last news will be that Benidorm's Chinese shops, you know, the ones that are everywhere literally in Benidorm, have some serious issues, but it's not the first time it's actually happening. And we will finish as usual with the weather forecast for the next upcoming weeks for all those of you who decided to travel to our sunny country. First of all, let's start with the news number one, which is the situation in Benidorm. And a lot of people are trying to escape the cold and the snow that we have in other northern countries to come here towards the sunshine and slightly warmer weather, at least to get some vitamin D and maybe some winter tan, just a tiny bit. Apart from that, Benidorm right now is on the Fitur, which is the very important tourism organization, and Benidorm is obviously promoting itself, as well as the whole entire Costa Blanca area. And Benidorm has presented the official document, the ultimate guide, that will quite probably, as far as officially stated, make Benidorm the first ever 100% accessible town in whole entire Spain. Apart from bringing a massive project that will change Benidorm forever and will make it totally accessible for all people who would want to visit it. Doesn't matter if you have a physical, for example, mobility issues, if you have any kind of hearing or visual issues, anything. This is not going to be a problem any longer for you to visit and enjoy in our favorite touristic town of all. Apart from that, Benidorm obviously will be doing all these changes. They've elaborated an ultimate guide. You can actually check it online if you want to. They've elaborated the ultimate guide of hotels that are considered to be 100% accessible in Benidorm, which is also great news. So far, these hotels are 60 hotels, which doesn't mean there's not going to be more. There obviously will be more hotels as soon as they will adapt to these new rules to take part in this ultimate guide for accessibility in Benidorm, accessible tourism. So far there are 60 hotels. There are 3 5-star hotels, around 35 4 stars and 4 stars superior, around 20 one I think of 3 stars, and one probably of just 2 stars in there. But still there are really budget option hotels which are totally accessible. How they rated? This is another good question. First of all, they obviously are rating the accessibility as a physical part of it, so it needs to be wheelchair friendly or boogie accessible, so that people will be able to access without any kind of differences as just a person with no mobility issues would. And they're able to access all and every single area of the hotel and of the establishment, as well as common areas, the spa. If, for example, there are accessibility points in the swimming pool to make sure that people can go down to the swimming pool if they cannot walk, for example, and cannot use the staircase, as well as a specific magnetic sound system for people who are deaf, who cannot actually hear. For people who cannot see, there needs to be specific, like, signs, so they would be able to see which floor they're going, where is the room number, the menu, everything. They're also rating if there are people who know the sign language, which is also great. So It's going to be a huge change for Benidorm. Benidorm is positioning itself really strong, I must say. And we do strongly believe, we who live here, we do strongly believe that Benidorm is not going to go worse. It's going to be going better and better each day. And for all those who say that people will just leave Benidorm and tourists are looking somewhere else to go, just wait for it. Just wait for it. Just wait up until Benidorm will be what it wants to be in the future. Sustainable, green areas, fresh air, lovely, amazing quality hotels for quite reasonable prices. You have a lot of tourism options here to explore, a lot of areas to visit, amazing viewpoints, the typical Mediterranean cuisine as well. There's so much to discover, and especially if Benidorm will be accessible 100%, what can be better than that? The second news that I wanted to share with you all comes from the train station of Benidorm. There are quite a lot of changes that I really want you to be aware about, especially if you're coming to Benidorm right now in the next couple of weeks and you're planning to use this service to move around our Costa Blanca area and discover, for example, Alicante, discover San Juan, El Campello, Teulada, Moraira, Calpe, Denia, Javea, Altea, Albir, Alfaz del Pi, like all different areas that you can discover with the train service. Good news first, probably. Good news is that the train here in Alicante, which means all the lines in Alicante, plus the line that connects with Benidorm and the one that connects with Denia, will be 50% off starting from 1st of February, which is great news because you will be able to buy tickets for cheaper, and it's really efficient and cheap way to discover other areas around Benidorm town. And this discount will be up until 30th of June, so up until the beginning of peak season here in Spain. This is great because they want people to use less cars and more sustainable service like public transport, or use bicycles, electric transport, electric scooters, etc., to make the air more pure and not to get so many car fumes and emissions outside towards the air. So they're making the public transport slightly cheaper for us to see it as a valid option to move around the region. However, the bad news, that the train that connects, basically these are two train lines, the one from Alicante to Benidorm and the one from Benidorm to Denia. These two train lines altogether, they sum up around 100 kilometers. And the bad news is that these 100 kilometers take about 3 hours to complete. So if you want to spend the whole entire day traveling in the train, I know there are people who love train traveling, train travels. And maybe for some of you it will be a valid option because you'll get to see a lot of things from the window. You'll get to see lovely orange or mandarin gardens. You will get to see how people live in houses outside big cities. You'll get to see lovely and amazing sea views. So it might be a good option to discover, to be honest. But for people who need to be at a specific place on a specific time, it might kind of be just a tiny bit a waste of their time because it's 3 hours. It's 1.5 hours to get to Benidorm, more or less, from Alicante, and from Alicante and from Benidorm to Denia, it will also be around 1.5 hours time. I know some of you asked me how much will it take, so this is the approximate time. And another bad news is that for all those of you who would want to use it from Benidorm, right now, starting from 16th of January, so basically Monday this week, this line, main train station in Benidorm, is closed for train. I'll put you a picture right here so you will be able to see how it's looking like. I'll probably do another update in that area specifically if you would like to see it, just for you to see how the works are going on, the work update, and how bad it's looking like right now, and how much time will we need to fully have these huge, giant building works to be over with in Benidorm. This train station that we're all used to, okay, the last train station where two lines connect, it will be closed for a couple more weeks probably, so 14 more days starting from today, the day this video is posted. And it's not really comfortable, but there are two options you can take the train. First of them is you can use a bus service that will bring you from this station to the next station, which is where it's fully operative. So it's going to be just one station towards the left, towards the Alicante side. The second option will be if you don't want to use a bus for shuttle, there is a direct road that they did from this Benidorm train station directly through the railways. They've adapted like a road where you can go towards that station where the train is actually working. Why? Because they're quite close nearby. If you go with a bus, you're gonna need to go round down all the entire Benidorm part, but if you go walking, you just go straight up the railways through adapted road, obviously, but it's a straight road and it's going to be quite easy to access, which is what a lot of people are doing, and they're still traveling with the tram service, although might not seem comfortable at first, but it's really not such a big deal. I will go and show it to you guys so you will make sure that it's still possible to travel with train these next upcoming weeks here in Benidorm region. The news number 3 is a truly never-ending story from Benidorm town. This happens like literally every single year here, and this year it's no different basically. You know that I did probably last year as well, I did a short update here on the news, on the Spanish news update, and we were talking that Benidorm Chinese shops, and in general like Chinese Indian type of shops, they are really cheap shops. You know, you can get everything there for quite a better price usually than you would get like in a shopping mall or everywhere else. Especially they're popular between tourists that right now it's difficult to bring any kind of luggage, you know, if you don't want to buy a extra bag that is quite expensive at the airlines. You're just coming like with a traveling like a small bag, you know, a lot of people do this, and you cannot pack everything you would like to pack, but instead you come here to Benidorm or to any other town in Costa Blanca or in Spain in general, and you go to a Chinese store, and for a little amount of money you're getting everything you need for holidays, like slippers, you get a towel to go to the beach, you get like sunscreen, you get sunglasses, you get, I don't know, even an umbrella, for example, to go to the beach if you have a sensitive skin. Another side of these shops are the falsified goods and the false branded things. This has happened already, like in pandemics, no, because a lot of them were closed, but before pandemics and immediately after this was happening, usually you can see a lot of the shops selling like sports clothes, or like, for example, even a sport like whole outfit, you know, a t-shirt and shorts, even shoes. And they put like expensive brands, like, I don't know, Adidas. They put like, this is from Real Madrid, this is like from Barça, this is from like Atletico Madrid or any other kind of sports football club. And the prices are obviously way cheaper because these are false imitations. These are not like truly branded things because they're way more expensive, trust me. And people do buy them because they're cheap, they're looking nicely, and they're just getting them because, well, why not, you know? So these shops have a huge issue, and this year, literally just a couple of days ago, 4 of these shops in Benidorm were closed back again. The police of Guardia Civil, like civil guard, they closed these shops. They got more than 1,910 different types of falsified products. I'm gonna try and insert you a couple of pictures. Basically, these are all kinds of falsified shops. Some of them even had like hidden pathways in the shop, where like hidden boxes where they kept all this merchandise, you know. Yeah, obviously they don't know what the you know, property means, intellectual property, and like the brand property is itself, because it's an issue everywhere in Spain. Like, this is something that, well, I can do it cheaper, and I will do it, you know, for people to buy. They don't really care, and they won't care. Let me know what you think about this. If you think that they will not stop and continue producing these type of products, my personal opinion is that they will keep producing these products. They don't care to pay like a fine right now because they're getting a lot of money. And right now the shelves are quite empty of a lot of these shops. You can actually see which one shop it was. Apart from that, these shops, obviously in just maybe a month's time, maybe even slightly less, they will keep receiving this merchandise and they will keep selling it up until next year when they'll get caught. But by that time they have sold so much that they don't even care to pay that fine and continue with their own lives as nothing has ever happened. This is how the falsified things work here, sadly, in Spain. You know, they just get a fine and that's it. Then they continue selling, they pay another fine, and then all this goes like as a circle. This time, usually it's not simply because police sees it, it's because police comments it to the official brands, and when the brands certify that it's a false merchandise, then they would like to open a claim, obviously, because they want a part of that profit that these people got with their like branded names, even though they were false, but still, you know. So they are the ones who go to court, and which is why they have to pay this fine, not because police decides to do so. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. And now let's talk about the weather in Spain. What is happening and what will be happening in the next upcoming weeks? The weather is just gorgeous today. As you can see, there are barely any kind of clouds, and it's just amazing to stay outside. Some people are coming to the beach to enjoy this lovely weather. This weather will be accompanying us the whole entire week, at least the whole entire week. It should not be raining in here, although in some areas of Spain it might be slightly cloudy and stormy, but the worst part of it is officially over, as you can see. No strong wind any longer. Even the birds are here enjoying the sunshine. No rain, no storm, no nothing. The 100km/h winds are officially over, so we are really lucky with that one. And there's going to be some snow. This is the only different thing. There's going to be quite a lot of snow in the northern parts of Spain. The upper half of Spain, up until Madrid, will have some snow probably. Our region is a huge exception, as ever, as always. Temperatures more or less are continuing the same as they were before. Today here it's around 18 degrees, which is still quite good. We cannot say anything bad about this weather at the end of January. On Sunday, the cold is coming to our region with around 13 degrees only. So 13, 1-3, not 30 would be great, but it's not the case, sadly. 13 degrees in here. This is the warmest it's gonna get in the whole entire Spain, because all the rest areas will be snowing and like 0 degrees or maybe a couple of degrees just. But here it's gonna be nice and lovely even so, with a sunshine. The water temperature is really low right now. It's around 16 degrees, but that's obvious, it's end of January, so before it will start to get heating once again, which will be around March time, I don't see anyone swimming except for people that wear specific swimming suits and are scuba diving in here, but all the rest are just enjoying the sunshine. And this weather will be here for the next upcoming weeks, so no rain on the horizon, just some clouds and a lot of sunshine. Thank you all for enjoying today's latest news update, and I'll see you tomorrow in a new video. And on Sunday we will have, tomorrow's video is a surprise, and on Sunday we will have a new informative video about the update on the giant building work at the train station in Benidorm. Don't miss that one. Bye.